hey now everybody, it's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103GBFRocks.com. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, Mr. Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Good morning, Rob. By my count, if we stay on track, we should be done right around 5 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock Central.
Wow. I mean, I feel like this is the most people have collectively moaned about the length of a show.
It was egregious. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. I'm afraid. I even asked you this morning, should I not complain about this? Because I don't want to sound like an old coot. But for real, it's 10:52, and we haven't gotten to the Rumble yet.
Yeah.
With Eastern time.
Jerry's
I know.
Eastern, yeah.
I'm always Eastern brain. It's late. I was like, I'm not going to bed till midnight, and I get up at 4. It kind of sucks, especially when I started watching at 6 Eastern time.
No, I mean, I think that's most people's biggest complaint of the show, and that's, I mean, where I'm going to start in it. I mean, my thing is, I hate beating a dead horse because I do it every Tuesday when we recap Raw, because Raw is far too long. But this show, I mean, I defy anyone. I mean, not that we hear people defending this on the daily, but watch that first match after the Women's Rumble. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, probably the match that a lot of serious fans are looking forward to the most.
Yeah.
And the crowd is dead. And you have to remember, yes, that show was 5 hours long, and they've been there for 2 more hours watching the pre-show.
Yeah, I turned the pre-show on right at 5, but then we would switch back and forth between a couple other things, and I'd turn it off, turn it on. And the crowd, by the second hour of that kickoff show, the crowd, they were in there. They were ready to go in Phoenix. And then how could they be alive at the end of this thing? And it takes away from everything. It takes away from the last Rumble. It takes away from, because people are exhausted. It's 7 hours. It's a school day.
And I don't know what their motivation is to make these really long shows, because you've already got our money. You got the buys. You got the network subscribers. Like, what is their motivation for kidnapping us for the entire duration? I
mean, do they think that they're giving us... Do they think they're like, we're giving them a ton of content, they should be happy with it?
I don't know.
And I try to put myself in the position of, like, when you and I were in high school, dude, I would have killed for this much stuff.
I don't know, because I still feel like a 7-hour pay-per-view, like, I don't know, like, even the nerdy high school Rob would have been like, man, I don't know if I'm going to watch the pre-show for this Rumble.
Well, and I could have cut 6 minutes off every match and 20 off of some. I thought it was fun. What sucks is I thought the Elias Jeff Jarrett thing was a lot of fun, but it was pissing me off because it was so late.
That's what was happening in our room too, because I was watching with a bunch of guys, and everyone's just sour on it because we want the Rumble to start because it's after 10.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was otherwise a really fun segment. Like a cool surprise for the Rumble. We started with Jeff Jarrett, and he gets smacked with a guitar, but it's late.
Right. No, dude, I know exactly what you mean. And like, I know that you are in the Eastern time zone, but I was watching in Kentucky. I got a little bit of a hike home, and, I'm probably getting to bed the same time you are, just, in the Eastern time zone.
Fortunately, being in Kentucky, you got a discount on gas and smokes.
I did gas up, even though I had a quarter of a tank still.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, why wouldn't you? I was blown away when we went over from Evansville. We crossed that bridge, and I was like, wait a second, is gas really 50 cents cheaper over here? What happened?
Yep, that's the way it works.
Yep. Yeah, money-saving bridge. Look at me.
That's why they call it that.
Yeah, and then all the pawn shops.
So we don't need to, I guess, beat this dead horse. I'm assuming, I mean, if you don't agree with us that this show was way too long, feel free to weigh in. But I feel like we're speaking for everybody there.
I do too. I mean, it can be longer than a takeover. I would even be okay with a 4-hour show at this point, or 3. 3 would be great. But I don't know. Takeover did it perfectly. 2.5 hours.
Oh my God,
and it could have gone 3 because the stuff that happened afterwards they could have put that on TV.
So
that was good.
You watched Takeover?
I watched it. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it that night. Like I was like 2 hours behind it.
I was accidentally 1 hour behind it, but whatever. See, okay, what did you think of that show?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, what's funny is I know what the best match of the night is, and I know what everyone says is the best match of the night, and I will not argue because it was the best match of the night, but it was not my favorite match of the night. My favorite match of the night was different than everybody else's best. That just was.
All right, hold on. I'm intrigued.
So what do you think the best match of the night was on TakeOver?
Yeah, for me, it's easy. It was the Gargano match.
Yeah, Gargano and Ricochet. That's what everybody says. They're talking match of the year candidate. They're
I put
4
it in that
stars,
category.
5 stars. I mean, it was a great match. It was the best match on the card. It sure was. For me, the tag match that opened it was my favorite, and it stole the show. It was my favorite match. It was almost my favorite match of the weekend.
There was
the War Raiders and
it was the Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. Yeah, Roderick and
it was a very good match. It was a great way to get the show started, but the way it ended was, to me, much better.
Yeah, I mean the whole card.
I'm sorry, not the it wasn't the main event, but the Ricochet match.
The main event was great too, but it reminded me of the video game because it ended with like 8 finishers.
I don't know. The main event wasn't as. It was okay, but it did. I guess my whole, if I have to sum the show up in a phrase, it was really great wrestling that was not exciting. Is the best way I can sum up TakeOver. Nothing on the show was exciting, and that was my.
Well, I guess that's kind of why, like, I really liked the stuff at the beginning. I really liked the War Raiders entrance and just a hot start. And you know what I like, dude. I like 350-pound Vikings jumping off the top ropes.
Don't feel bad about that. Feel like whatever you want to like.
That's what I like, and so that's why I say I know it wasn't the best match of the night, but it was my favorite. To me, it was the best match.
I mean, it's like that's the way I feel. You know, I always use the comparison for like the Beatles. Like, if you're having a conversation about the greatest band of all time. If you're not arguing the Beatles, you're just wrong. But the Beatles, while they're kind of accepted as the greatest band of all time, they're not my favorite band of all time.
No, I don't even like the Beatles, but I know that they're the best.
Yeah, because we've been told that a million billion times that if you don't say them, you're wrong.
Right. Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and the Ramones. Those are 3 bands that everybody loves that I just have never gotten into.
Well, you don't hear about the Ramones usually for greatest band of all time, but you do hear about like the Beatles, I feel like. So,
yep.
All right.
So TakeOver was good. Do you think any match at the Royal Rumble was better than the Gargano match?
No.
So you would say the TakeOver stole the weekend again?
If by stealing the weekend you mean having the best match of the weekend, yes.
Do you think TakeOver was a better show?
Probably yes. Look what it did in 2.5 hours compared to what the Rumble did in 5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well, where do you want to start with the Rumble? You want to start right at the top? First, let me congratulate you. You got every match right.
I didn't get every match right. I know because Nakamura is the U.S. champion.
Oh, okay, we got that one wrong. But everything else.
Thanks.
Whole way down the line. I mean, we both got all the Rumbles right again.
It was very predictable. But
again, although did you know that was going to happen with Becky Lynch at the end?
I was assuming that it was going to be a very late kind of thing.
People were going to be pissed. Knowing that Carmella was 30, when Nia Jax came out at 29, you could already hear the boos happening.
Yeah.
Like they were gonna crap all over that finish if Becky Lynch didn't get involved.
Yeah. Because do you want to start with letter grades or do you want to start? I don't care. I'm genuinely just asking how you want to start this.
Let's just talk about the matches and we'll give our letters at the end.
All right. Where do you want to start?
Well, we can
Becky
start
Lynch
with the
and
title.
Asuka?
Sure. Becky Lynch and Asuka. Good match. Ended the way we thought it would because of what's coming down the road.
I think the title of the video may be responsible for why we've got a very big audience right now.
Oh.
Did you hear about the nip slip?
I heard about it, but I didn't see it, which is weird because I watched the whole thing last night.
It got dumped, I think.
Admittedly, so there was a lot to watch. Like I felt like I was getting Clockwork Orange there for a bit. So I missed the nip slip. I'm going to be going back and looking for this very soon.
They dumped it. So the screen went black for a few seconds.
Oh, is that why?
And my understanding is that's why. Yeah, you're not going to find it.
So that's stupid.
I don't think you're going to find it, pal. I don't believe it exists. I'm speaking for someone who's tried to find it.
You tried to find it. I'm looking right now, and I'm not going to find it.
Even worse, I put Brett on the case, and Brett couldn't find it.
Oh, if Brett couldn't find it, then no one's going to find it.
Yeah. So, it was a fine match. I thought that Becky didn't possess that pizzazz that she has lately because we knew where the night was going.
You thought she was saving it a little bit?
I did, yeah. I don't know. Other than that, I don't have much to say about it. It was the beginning of 5 hours of wrestling.
It was a good match. I thought it was a good way to start. It let me see what they wanted to do. Like they started with that so they could have her for the Rumble. When it opened, it confirmed my suspicion that she was going to win the Rumble.
Yeah,
they were trying to separate her a little bit from wherever they were going to put it.
Showing their hand a little bit, I suppose. But I feel like you could have just as easily. I really hope they stick with it being one-on-one. I still worry that Charlotte's going to be thrown in.
Charlotte and Asuka, man, I see that. I feel like that's going to be what happens. I think we'll see Becky tonight on Raw. At least I hope so. Speaking of Charlotte, those weather balloons are gigantic.
And they're distracting, and they're not even like usually when you see like oversized boobs, you're like, oh, roll Tide.
Who's the pirate girl from NXT? Kairi
Sane. When
she was doing the slaps with Charlotte and trading the woos, she was just straight beanbagging her. She was just hitting her. She wasn't trying to hit her in the boobs, but she just kept slapping her in the boobs.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was a weird spot that I'm not sure really translated well here in the States.
What, the boob slaps?
Yeah, how Charlotte was just asking her for them.
Yeah, it was like whatever. And then a little later, Kairi was in another weird position where she's on the ropes, and I forget who did it, but somebody punched her right in the butthole, and she almost went over. And I was like, what's going on with this girl? Slapping boobs and getting punched in the butthole.
By the way, your Lacey Evans looked fantastic last night.
She looked great. She did a really great job. I love how they kept talking about what an impressive performance she put on while she was in there, and Natty was in there still, and everyone just ignored Natty because why wouldn't you?
I feel like with Lacey Evans, if you like the bottom of butt cheeks, she's the one for you.
Oh yeah, and I like the little strips up the back of the pantyhose there in the back.
Yeah, that was your speed.
She's good. She's a good girl.
I heard that someone told me, someone I was at the party with, that she's a single mom who brings her, I think it's a son, but might be a daughter, but brings her child to everywhere she goes. So there's like a kid that's getting like babysat in the back while she's out wrestling.
Oh, I'll babysit her kid.
I know you would. I don't even know what that means, but I know you would.
It means I'm not here to be your daddy. I'm just here to bang your mama.
All right, so I'm sure there's some things that happened before the first Rumble that we missed. What was this?
Yeah, Ms. O'Mac.
Was exactly what I expected it to be.
Exactly. I mean, we knew it. We knew what was happening, and okay. That was a longer match than it needed to be.
Everything was. I mean, man.
We didn't need 5 minutes of mugging with Mrs. Dad afterwards. I mean, there are so many places we could trim.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I'm not even positive we need 2 Royal Rumbles in one night.
Pick one. I don't even care which one they pick. Pick one.
Like maybe we can put the female Rumble somewhere else. Like, I don't know, Evolution, Elimination Chamber. Like there's just, it's exhausting.
I didn't enjoy the Women's Rumble nearly as much as the men's. And a lot of the reason came with like their big surprises. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know half of their surprises. At least with the men, Gargano was a good surprise, and Aleister Black was cool, and I didn't know half the women that showed up.
Understood.
And Beth Phoenix is the worst.
Oh, she is distractingly bad on commentary. I don't know when they're not going to get the with the program on that.
They've got the girl to call it. Okay, you've got it. Her name is Renee Young, and she's absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Let her alone.
Well, and like Beth Phoenix, I don't know why she keeps getting try after try after try. Like the first mixed match challenge, we should have realized, hey, thanks for your help. If we need you again, we'll call you.
And spoiler alert, we won't need you.
But they keep with her. I don't get it. She's so bad.
Yeah, it's like that one guy on NXT that was calling NXT. I don't like at all.
Who are you talking about?
Not Morrow, not Nigel, but the other one.
Is that Percy Watson?
He's bad.
He's not Beth Phoenix bad.
No, he's not. No, he's not even David Otunga bad, but he's bad.
All right, what else do we need to talk about before the Women's Rumble? Even though we've already kind of covered the Women's Rumble.
I think those were the two matches.
No,
and then
where was Rousey and
Bliss,
or Rousey and Sasha?
Right afterwards, because they went women's match, tag match, women's Rumble.
Boy, that match was tough too, I thought.
Sloppy.
Yeah, and I just don't care about Sasha. And every time I see Sasha, I'm just like not impressed. I'm over her. And
really sloppy. And something that you had mentioned a while ago that never bothered me. Last night it bothered me. When Ronda gets people up, she's just like talking to the crowd, and it just doesn't work. It's not a house show. It doesn't translate.
Yeah, I don't know. It just missed with me.
You say I can't wrestle? Huh? You want to see some wrestling moves?
That's like her thing, is talking to the crowd, and that misses wildly too, I think.
Yeah. And I'm sick of the eye makeup, and she looks like an angry cinnamon bun with all the swirls on her head. Whatever.
No, thankfully, I feel like, she'll be treated better at WrestleMania, I feel like.
She'll have a bigger match at WrestleMania, for sure.
Well, not even bigger, but it'll be better.
Yeah.
I mean, I trust Becky way more than I trust Sasha at this point.
Sasha's kind of dangerous.
Was there anything last night that jumped out at you, or you just mean in general?
Just in general, she's been dangerous in the past. Usually with herself.
Sure. Okay, fair enough.
Landing on her neck every time I turn around. I still don't know who to blame for those, her or Charlotte. They were both like, remember every time they had a match, I thought Becky broke her neck. Or not Becky, I thought Sasha would break her neck.
Yeah. I think those are more Charlotte, but I feel like with Sasha, I don't know. I just don't care about her anymore.
Right. Well, that ended the way we thought it was going to end, and Ronda gets it, and there's no way Becky's going after Asuka. I mean, we know Becky's going to cash in with Ronda. It's going to be Becky Ronda.
Yeah, this whole thing's been very predictable. And that was another big complaint from last night. After 7 hours, pretty much everything went the way we expected it to.
Sure. Biggest surprise was what? Jeff Jarrett?
Well, yeah, the only match we didn't call was, at least me, was Nakamura getting the title back from Rusev.
Right. Although I'll tell you, as much as I was believing Finn Balor was going to win. They had me hook, line, and sinker at the end of that thing.
That's why that was my match of the night.
I agree. I thought it was the match of the weekend, to be quite honest.
Oh no, I would even take both the matches we talked about from TakeOver, I think, before Finn and Brock. But Finn was a great opponent for Brock.
That was a lot of fun, and I thought they were going to give it to him. I thought I just heard you. You're like, they're going to make a star. I was like, oh my God, they will establish him right away.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who picked Balor last night was crazy.
And then Brock won, because that's, at the end we were right, because that's what Brock does. Brock wins. And
this is interesting because you skipped over a match, and it kind of proved my point. My point was that, oh my gosh, the crowd was so exhausted after that first Rumble. They had no investment at all in AJ and Daniel Bryan.
Which is a shame because they put on a really good match
How crazy.
until the end.
But even I felt the wear. Like, even I on the couch was like, I really am not into this, and it's nothing that they're doing on screen.
I got up and started. I still watched it, but I got up and I was unloading the dishwasher because I needed to move around. Who would have thought that I was going to unload the dishwasher during the Daniel Bryan AJ Styles match?
But you were just deflated from that previous match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crushed me.
And then, and they also didn't have a barn burner, to be honest.
No, it was okay. And then the Erick Rowan thing's really confusing. I guess they're done with the Bludgeon Brothers.
I guess I'll just say we'll get more clarity tomorrow, hopefully.
Although you're not going to pass Erick Rowan off as a vegan because he looks fatter than he ever has.
Is that what they're trying to do?
I think they're going to do it. I think he's going to get a follower. The planet's champion is going to have a follower.
Why can't he be vegan?
So fat, man.
Vegans can be fat.
I guess they can be. They eat a lot of ice cream. You know, I had a joke in my head. I'm sure it's funnier in my head. But you saw that promo that Daniel Bryan cut over the weekend where he said, like, I'm the planet's champion. I'm a champion for the cows. And I decided, yeah, well, now you've got a cow working for you. Because look at Erick Rowan, his big fat. You're a champion for the cows. Erick Rowan is a cow. I told you, it was funnier in my head.
Vegans don't eat real ice cream, at least.
Oh, crap. Vegetarians eat ice cream. What do they eat? Sticks. God, I hate it.
So vegetarians don't eat meat. Vegans don't eat anything that comes from any sort of animal product, which would include things like milk, obviously meat.
You're right.
What else is there? I guess it's just like there's no dairy. So, yeah, they don't even eat ice cream. I think a fat vegan is pretty rare.
It'd be tough. That's a lot of salad.
Yeah, with a lot of dressing.
Be like, would you eat an oak tree? Like, I don't know how you.
I mean, whatever at this point.
So does that mean Harper's hurt? Like forever hurt? Like, what are they going to do with him?
My understanding is they're all clear. I don't know. Don't know.
Okay. So that was like puzzling, but surprising. So, okay.
And then I'm trying to think of, I guess that's it before the men's rumble.
Yeah, you had that match, and then you had the Finn match, which I thought he had it. And then we had the men's rumble.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, man,
10:50 Eastern time, and they're still in the ring with Finn Balor and Brock.
Don't forget, like by the end of the men's rumble, these are people that have counted backwards from 10, like 58 times. It becomes less exciting after 50 some times of doing it.
Yeah,
and
unless it's an Iron Man match in Pittsburgh, and those people should still be ashamed of themselves.
And then that's a good point. I'm looking at you when we talk about Pittsburgh.
They should be ashamed of themselves.
And then it's also deflating when you know who is last out.
I really didn't like that either. I hated the whole we know who's going to be 30 because once 29 comes out, there's no surprise. Although Nia Jax was quite a. What do you think about Nia Jax entering the men's rumble?
Hated it. Absolutely hated it.
The only satisfying part of it was that she got smoked by everybody. She took an RKO. It's
not even the sexes commingling. It's not even that, you know, it's a woman doing nothing. It's just that it made no sense.
It made R-Truth look weak as hell.
It made no sense. It made no sense that this would happen.
She eliminated Mustafa Ali, which upset me.
It just made no sense. You know what I mean? What would happen if she would have won? I don't know. Like, okay, what's her face? Becky had to beg and plead with Fit Finlay to get into the women's Royal Rumble, which, by the way, is the same gender that she is. And then Nia Jax can just plop on out during R-Truth's entrance and get a spot. Makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
I don't know. Just I didn't like it. I didn't like much from last night.
What did you think about where they put Gargano, where they put Aleister Black, the fact that they used those two? What'd you think of that? I'll tell you who I became a fan of last night, and I knew very little about him. Pete Dunne. That guy was fun.
Yeah, he's okay.
He overused the finger bit a little bit too much, but whatever.
I agree with you. I thought they were good choices. I hope they're call-ups, but I don't think that they are. And I
don't think Gargano is, because he won the North American title, so I assume they're going to keep him on NXT for a while.
And that's the thing about why using NXT guys is tough. Like when it was AJ Styles, we kind of knew that AJ was here. And I don't know, when it was Ty Dillinger, I felt like we knew it was a call-up. And now it's like, I don't understand if they are or not.
So it would be cool now if you use a call-up. Also, I was relieved at number 10 that Ty Dillinger didn't come out. I think it would be cool if, like, Aleister Black, or it could be anybody. It could have been Pete Dunne. I think Tommaso Ciampa would have been the best one. Come out, NXT champion, and then wins it. And now you've got a story to tell.
Well, I mean, I feel like, because I remember Eric on the post show was getting pretty creative. I saw Mike get kind of creative, and I'm like, man, when have you ever seen them be even close to that creative in a Rumble? I
thought the closest creative call was from Steve with John Cena, and then they announced John Cena was going to be in it anyway. So that was that.
Well, yeah, but that, I don't feel like that is crazy booking. Now, what you're asking for literally is them to put someone who's literally untested and unproven in the main event of WrestleMania. That's that's a little crazy.
Although this would have been the year to do it, because it's not the main event of Mania. It's going to be a title match at Mania. The main event is going to be the women.
Okay,
but the men have no pressure to be a main event at Mania. A main draw, yes, but not the main event.
I still think it can go either way, but even still, they make it sound like you get a quick pass to the WrestleMania main event. I mean, you can't just put someone who's never even been on WWE TV and just skyrocket him to the main event of WrestleMania.
Makes sense. I get it.
You know what I mean? Look at imagine if they would have done that with Lars Sullivan. Look where they'd be now.
Guys, yeah, they didn't even bring him out last night. Wait, when are they going to bring that guy out?
I'm not even sure we're going to see him anymore. But everyone, like, he did fine in NXT. I mean, take a look at the laundry list of guys who excelled in NXT, get called up to the main roster and can't get anything going. You know, it's different. It's just different. That's why you can't take someone totally. I get it. It'd be cool and we would accept it, but that's not the way, you know, the people who actually their livelihoods ride on this are going to think.
No, the last time they really did that was the U.S. Open title challenge, and they did it with Kevin Owens, and they put him over kind of immediately at that pay-per-view. He beat John Cena. That was cool.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't a main event, and it wasn't a WrestleMania.
Sure. No, I see what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you.
So
it would have been fun. So where do they go now? Seth Rollins wins it. There you go.
Yeah, I think they want Seth and Brock.
I think Seth and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, really? You think that?
I think that could totally happen. Seth and Daniel Bryan.
I'll take that bet.
Seth and Brock would be fun. The last time it would be different than the last time they fought, when Seth was playing, you know, chicken ass, running around. And that match, do you remember that match?
The last match between them that I remember is the when he cashed in at WrestleMania. No,
so eventually then Seth Rollins gets chased down when Brock returns, and it was Night of the Champions or somewhere right around that time, and or SummerSlam or something like that, and Brock was beating his ass, and Brock F5'd him and was about to pin him, and they got the 2 and the lights went out, and then the Undertaker showed up and attacked Brock Lesnar, and that's how Seth didn't beat Brock, kept the title. They got Brock away from Seth, and then they started going in the direction of the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar.
Was that in a cage?
No, those two fought in a cage eventually. No, the Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar match was just in a ring, and it was Seth getting beat up for the entire time, and then right before he got pinned, the Undertaker stopped that from happening, so they kept the belt on Seth. I remember that. I just don't remember what pay-per-view that was on.
Well, either way, I think that's going to be their match. I don't think it's going to be Seth and Daniel.
And then we're finally going to get Brock Lesnar dethroned.
It's also a little disappointing. Well, we said that last year, and I think even the year before that, but whatever.
Locking in.
not only did I mean, I think I speak for everyone when I say we were a little disappointed with Brian and AJ. They've let us down every time they've wrestled, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's why are they going to get away from that now? Do you think that would?
I don't know where Daniel's heading for WrestleMania, to be honest with you.
Maybe Seth.
I don't know where AJ's heading. In fact, if I had to pick a bet right now, I actually think it's going to be the two of them again.
Ugh.
Yeah.
They better step it up.
That's what I'm saying. All right, so let's get to letter grades then, because this is important to me.
Letter grades are important.
Well, I mean, with the Lock of Destiny I got, but I won it on a cruiserweight title match, so I'm not going to rub it in your face.
Buddy Murphy ripped me off.
Or did Hideo Itami?
Hideo Itami, who lost it for me. I can go first on a letter grade. I didn't hate anything really, other than the length. I thought everything was too long. Everybody's match was too long, except for Finn Balor and Brock Lesnar. But then they drug that on at the end, too. Everybody went long. The Rumble is always fun for me, and it's usually an automatic B- or C+, because it's just my favorite pay-per-view of the year. But it was 7 hours long, and I didn't go to bed till midnight, and I'm a little salty about it. So I'm going to give it a C-, or that's about it. That's as good as I can do.
Wow, that's crazy. I also am a hard C-, and really for the same reasons you said, because the Rumble has some inherent advantages. Like, for example, a bad Royal Rumble is better than a bad match. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's just fun. It's fun.
And even, because really watching the guys come out is the fun part. And then you really only have like 10 minutes where they're battle royaling at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even if you don't like those matches, they were fun. And you're right. No match was really bad. Maybe Rousey and Sasha. But most of the show was pretty good. The length was my big problem. And you're right. Just being a Royal Rumble should make it like a B automatically. A bad Rumble is usually a B. But man, I'm giving this one a C- also.
Yeah, good. Okay.
And I don't think we've ever came in with the same exact letter grade before.
No, we usually go up or down for one another. Sometimes we'll concede. And I would have conceded had you said D+. I'd have been like, deal.
Yeah, I would have too.
But it feels like a C- to me. I'll give it a C-.
Yeah, we agree on that. If you agree or disagree, think that we're off base. If you thought it was a great show, the length didn't bother you, I would question how much you have to do in your real life. But okay, let us know.
Yeah, I envy your free time.
Yeah, or if you are the opposite, you're like, how did you not? All you guys did was berate it. How did you give it a C+? Leave us that feedback too if you think that we're off base, or a C- right on the money, because Jerry and I, for the first time ever, both agree on a letter grade. The Royal Rumble it's been an agreement all the way around, because we even agreed on our predictions pretty much.
Absolutely, except Hideo Itami, I took a stab in the dark.
Well, either way, thank you for participating in the episode today. Thank you for watching. Sorry to everyone who wanted to see Becky's nipple. We appreciate, because there's.
I'll make it up for you.
I love you, Jer. Everyone, get your baseball bats and your a baseball bat to what did you say?
To a prime rib? I don't know. Listen, everybody, look at this. Everybody's gonna leave with a smile.
I can't hit the end button.
Please hit it.
All right.